What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Super Gamer Boys. I am your host and colonel and dad, Garrett Morlang, and here in the virtual studio with me is the king of video games and resident superstar, Adrian Holmes. What's up, Adrian?
What's up, man? I am happy to be here and present and prompt and on time for this episode. Nice. Unlike other parties who should be here and present and prompt, who will go unnamed.
Right. Yeah. So this, if you're not picking up what we're putting down, this unnamed person missing once again. We're not even going to say his name. We are just going to say the unnamed. The unnamed one.
He is the Voldemort of this podcast.
The unnamed one. Not here once again. He's like, you know what? Screw you guys. He got a little pissed off about our jokes last week. And it's like, dude, well, if you don't want us to do that, then
show up. That's
show
all you
up to the friggin' show. That's all you got to do is just show up. Yogurt Archangel in the chat says, so are we going to vote JJ off the island for inconsistency?
You said his name. What are you doing?
I was just reading the chat. I'm sorry.
It wasn't even 30 seconds.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just got. I if I see it, I got to read it. I can't help it. It's just how my brain works. I'm down to vote him off. I mean, we've tried this before though. Like he did this about a year ago, right? It was like a year. It was like last spring. He tried to pull this and he sneaks his way back in.
Got so much going on, guys. I just don't know if I can make it.
It's crazy.
All this Tractor Supply business. They're making me work Mondays at exactly 7:30 p.m. PT. I just don't know if I'm gonna be able to get in there.
Yogurt Archangel in the chat's laughing and he says, got him reading the teleprompter like Ron Burgundy. That's me 100%. I am the Ron Burgundy of Super Gamer Boys. Oh man. Yeah, I can't. If I see it, I gotta read it. Can't help it.
I mean, everything, Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say hashtag JJ Sex. That's all.
Yeah. I mean, the hashtag is continuing to go strong. It's proved itself time and time again. With tonight being just another example on top of that.
Yep. Oh man,
Garrett, I understand that we have some pretty big news, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, we do. Would you be happen to be talking about a new partnership with someone?
I just might be.
Well,
I don't know if you're ready to talk about that yet, or if the ink was dry.
No, let's do it because it was official as of last week, and we didn't say anything then, really. But now we have product in our hand. At least you do. We are now partnered with Dubby Energy. So
let's go, baby.
Oh, dude, you got a sick cup. I like mine too. Mine just has on there. Yeah, mine has the plain just it says Dubby, but their smiley logo is sick. So yeah. Dubby Energy, check them out at Dubby Energy on Twitter. If you use our code, you get 10% off. That's right. We're those people now. So use code SGB.
We're them.
And 10% off. So, hey, go to and it supports the show. That's the thing. That's why we do it. Any way that you guys can support the show, if it's things you're going to be buying anyways, use our code. There you go.
And you happen to get some good drinks in the interim.
Galaxy
I'm definitely
Grenade.
buying that waifu cup. I need it.
The waifu cup. Yeah, they have a bunch of waifu t-shirts and cups and stuff. Absolutely ridiculous. I will not partake because I am not into the animes. But
I'm sorry. Can you not appreciate the beautiful artwork on the cup?
I won't even let you finish. No.
I said beautiful artwork on the cup. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Somebody
I thought you were going to talk about
that.
I thought you were going to talk about the just animes in general. No, I will not.
Well, that's you not having taste. I can't do anything about that except try to educate you.
Yeah, I honestly I've always been willing. I've always been willing to give anime a try. I don't know. It's hard it's just scary to jump in, to watch I don't know, people talk about oh, you got to watch Studio Ghibli movies. They're fantastic. And I trust you, but it's scary. I don't know. Is that where I should start? I don't know. There's a lot of questions.
I would say that's the best, dip your toe into it and see if you like it. I don't know if you ever watched Malcolm in the Middle, but there was this one scene where one of the kids was talking to their dad about getting into like, I can't remember if it was a sport or a club or something like that. And all the lights dim and it focuses in on the kitchen table and it shifts perspective. And Malcolm and their dad is like, now, once you go down this path, you can never return. And you're forever changed once you start. And I'm just letting you know that's what's going to happen if you start down this path.
Oh,
but
no,
in a good way. No, in a good way. Like, you are going to open yourself up to just a literal ocean of pretty much anything you can think of. There's content. There's a book about it. There's a show about it. There's a movie about it. And most times it's pretty good.
Most of the time. Okay. All right. All right. Well, maybe I'll start with at least the Studio Ghibli stuff. Because again, like I feel like across the board, everyone says that stuff's amazing. And then maybe we'll come back to the drawing board and see, what my niche is with anime. Because I don't know. I'm interested. I want to try. I want to be more cultured. I don't want to be just this plain white bread man that just likes my plain oatmeal with my milk.
You don't really like plain oatmeal, do you?
No, it's horrible. It's horrid.
No. Boy,
I do enjoy oatmeal, not plain oatmeal.
Right? I mean, who doesn't? Of course.
Well, you remember what was that? That was a couple months ago when I discovered the when I accidentally added orange juice to it. Love it. Fantastic.
I forgot about that. I think I blocked that out.
I was so tired. I added orange juice instead of hot water.
Like, oh, this is not bad. No,
not
thank you.
Bad.
No, it's that bad. It is that bad.
Oh man. Yoga Archangel back in the chat says, as much as I enjoy One Piece, I would not say start on it. Okay.
How dare you, sir?
Oh, okay.
How dare you?
He says he enjoys One Piece, but
he does, but that would mean that you should recommend it. Why wouldn't you recommend it? It's one of the best pieces of content.
Isn't it also like hundreds and hundreds of episodes though? Like it would take me 6 years to watch through it all.
But that's the best part, Garrett. See, people got to flip their perspective on it, right? Everybody goes, oh, that show has 1,000 episodes or the manga has 1,000 chapters. No, you should be like, no way, there's 1,000 episodes of this I get to watch, or there's 1,000 chapters of this I get to read. You know why? Because it's all peak content. That's why. It's that good. It's that good. Yogurt knows what we're talking about.
It just, with that much content, is it really all peak though? Is it really all that good?
Of course, it's, there's stuff that's not as good, but it's like, it never falls below great, in my opinion. That's like the lowest bar that you go to. There's like, it's great, and then there's some areas of it where it just, it's like human creativity. You can see the potential of it right there. You know what I mean?
Okay.
What a series.
He's arguing in the chat now. You're going to recommend someone dip into 1,000+ anime to start? No way, dude. Start off something small.
No. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying now, Yogurt. To start, absolutely not. Over time, once you get into it and you find out, how things work as far as anime goes with their storytelling and archetypes and stuff, then I will probably recommend it to you. I thought he meant don't recommend it at all. Okay, I see where you're at.
No. He wants to ease me in. He says something. He recommends something called Berserk. Do you know what that is?
I do know what Berserk is, and that is a very interesting choice to start.
He also said, "Nah, that's too violent for Garrett's virgin eyes."
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know if I would start off with Berserk. You could try My Hero. I think that would be pretty good for you to start off. My Hero Academia.
I've heard of that one.
Yeah, it's a pretty simple story to follow, straightforward.
Okay. Cool. Well, I will log all that away and have to watch that at another time. I'll get back to you. If I start watching stuff, I will report back on the show. Maybe we'll need to come up with a new segment called What You Watching, where I fill you all in on my experience with anime, maybe.
Quite honestly, I'd be into it. Even if you just did like an episode a week, I would love to hear what you thought.
All right. I'll think about it.
I
mean, that's pretty doable. That's pretty doable. I can tell Trudy once a week, hey, I'm going to go watch a show for 30 minutes.
She might like it too. Watch it with her. Give it a shot, Garrett. You never know.
All right. Well, I'll try.
I have.
If it's not New Girl of the Office, it's a stretch to get her to watch it. I'm just gonna put that out there. If it's not Brooklyn Nine-Nine or like,
to be fair,
Parks
The
and
Office
Rec,
is pretty good. New Girl's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have a Crunchyroll login, Garrett, that lets me do up to 6 screens at the same time. I will just give you my login stuff.
Okay. I mean, now here's another question.
Send you off to the races.
Okay. Now here's one last question before we get into the show. I know there's a big argument, controversy I see on the internet, and I don't understand it because I'm like, who cares? But obviously it matters. Would you recommend subbed or dubbed?
Subbed.
Okay.
There is maybe less than 10 instances where I would recommend a dub. 2 of them are by the same creator. One of them is Dragon Ball. I'd have to get a list of the other few that might pass for a dub, but honestly, I could maybe count on one hand the anime that are okay dubbed. It's incredibly hard to pull off a really well done dub.
Okay. Yogurt says subbed for sure. The only dub you need is Little Kuribo, aka Team 4-Star. Do you know what that means?
So they're like a parody.
I love how I'm translate. I'm sending messages back and forth. I don't know what this means. Can you translate for me, Adrian?
They're like a parody house, kind of. They take, I guess not parody, or they're more in a sense, they kind of redub. Their biggest one is Dragon Ball. They take old Dragon Ball episodes and they kind of dub them into their own kind of little narrative, while it's still keeping within the overarching narrative. They change a lot of dialogue in a sense.
Huh. Okay. All right. Well, I'll get back to you guys. I will let you know what becomes of this.
Dude. I am ready to shepherd you into.
If you can send over send over some Crunchyroll login.
I'll send it tonight.
I'll see what I can do. Heck yeah! While I'm editing, I'll freaking watch an episode tonight. I'll get it done.
There you go.
All right. Cool. Well, today we're going to be talking about Knights of the Old Republic delayed, EA's Black Panther game, and some new info on GTA 6. But first, let's give a quick shout out to our Patreon producers, Bumple Smash and Eddie Martin, and our Super Gamer sponsors, Julie Bates, Mama Mare, and Kajoma. Sorry.
You were so not used to saying sponsor.
it was hard. I got me all choked up there. Our little Kajoma, this is a wee little sponsor, but you know what? We still love him and appreciate him because we just love and appreciate all the support we get. We know that you guys don't have to give us any money, and the fact that you guys are willing to help us support us, we appreciate it. So if you want to be awesome, just like those folks and all the other ones that you see in this description below, head over to patreon.com/supergamerboys, where you can support us starting at just $1 a month. That gets you episodes early and ad-free, such as this show, if you don't happen to catch it live, that is. And also our Super Gamer Book Club, which now has a new episode out, just came out last week. Star Wars Republic Commando with Adrian and I. Fantastic show. You can get that right now if you support us on Patreon. If you're on the fence, you want to try out a few episodes first, this week's free episode over on the public feed. If you go to your podcast service, search for Super Gamer Book Club, or over on youtube.com/supergamerboys, Super Mario World featuring Patrick and Mark from Nintendo Cartridge Society. That is a fantastic episode, and I'm so glad that everyone can listen to it now. And let me tell you,
good.
All of the episodes that we record are that caliber. I'm just excited that one's finally out, because that's such a well-known game across generations. Everyone can kind of agree it's a great game. So it's I hope that's the tipping point for people to finally go listen. If they've held out on listening to Super Gamer Book Club, please go listen to that episode because it was fantastic, and then go listen to all the other ones because they're all that good. You've just been too scared to try it. So now listen to that one, be like, oh yeah, this is good, and then go listen to the rest. Support us over on Patreon.
What are we on? That was 11 that we just did, right?
The Republic Commando, I believe it was
11 or 12.
No, it was more than that. No, you're right. It was 12. That was 12.
So you have a 12 year's worth of content that you could get access to for just $1. Just $1.
Yeah, plus episode or season 1 with the host, rest in peace, Zetch. His ghost still haunts the Discord to this day. If you join our Discord, you might see him roaming around once in a while. But
or you can use the ancient phrase to summon him.
If you say a certain name of a game 3 times in a row, it'll summon Zetch. This next episode, do you want to go ahead and announce the next game and guest?
I am making her return to Super Gamer Book Club. Miss Ray the Rat herself is going to be joining us to talk all things Omori, which is one of the newer generation indie games that I have basically experienced it the way that people have played it. People who have played it will not shut up about it, and it sounds like it is warranted. I have heard nothing but absolute praise for this game. People are saying like it's one of the all-time greats. It's right next to Undertale in terms of characters and storytelling. Wow. So I have really, really high hopes for this one, and I think it's going to pay off. And Ray is a super fan of Omori. That's actually how I found out about it, was through her. So who better to bring on to talk about it? I'm pretty sure she'll have a tattoo of it by the time we're ready to do the episode. So.
That is fantastic. Yeah, so we're having Ray the Rat back. The last one she was on was Little Nightmares, a game that we got a lot of mileage. JJ got a lot of mileage.
JJ got a lot of what you're playing out of that one.
Yeah, so she was on for that episode. That was a blast. So excited to have her back for Omori. And if you want to play along with us, I think it's pretty much on everything, and it's even on Game Pass. So if you have Game Pass, you can play it on PC and Xbox for free. So there you go. It's already part of that. Or if you're like me, you can buy it on Steam, and then a week later it comes to Game Pass. That's what I did, because it just came on Game Pass this last month, which was perfect timing, like for the book club. But I was like, oh, okay. Adrian told me, yeah, we're going to do that game for book club. I bought it, and then like the week later, it's like, oh, coming to Game Pass in a couple days. I'm like, are you kidding me?
I bought it too, but I'm not even mad about it. It was $12, and you know.
From what I hear, it'll be worth it.
It's worth it. Yeah, it sounds like it's one I want to keep, so I'm fine with that.
Heck yeah. All right, we'll talk more about our Patreon later on in the show, but let's give one last shout out here. Shout out to Jack Sriracha and Yate for allowing us to use their music on our show. We very much appreciate you there. And if you want to support them, show them some love, go to Spotify, go to Apple Music, look up their stuff. There's links in the show description below for their Spotify. Fantastic music. I love it. This plays all the time in the background when I'm working during the week, you too. So it's not just playing during the show. Like, I listen to this all the time. So go check them out. All right. It's now time to check the mail. Oh, shoot. JJ's not here. JJ was supposed to have a bit. He promised us a bit, and he's bailed 2 weeks in a row. Are you kidding me? And I don't
remember he stalled for that long. He was like, guys, listen, I will return, and I will have a mailbag for you, and it's going to be great. And here is your result. You know what this is going to be? We're going to do just silence, and that'll be JJ's bag bit. Because what else can we do? He's not here. Yeah. So he's going to have, by default, the worst bag bit. Here you go.
The worst.
There you go. That's JJ's bag bit.
Wow. That sucked, huh? That sucked real bad. The only good part of that is going to be the music from Yate that's playing right now. Although maybe, who knows? Maybe in the podcast edit. Maybe in the podcast edit, I'll cut it out. So it's just dead silence for like 5 seconds. It just like, oh man, yeah.
All right.
JJ #JJ sucks
again.
All right. This first question comes from Sir Princelot, and he asks, what is your favorite creature from a video game? So out of all the video games and all the creatures, which one's your favorite?
Oh, that is a tough one.
Yeah.
You want to go?
It's a toughie. Sure, I'll go. I do have one. After lots of brainstorming and thinking, I think my favorite, and I've talked about this franchise a few times. I'm a huge fan of the Fallout franchise. I want a new Fallout. I want a new good Fallout, because Fallout.
Are you about to say Rad Roaches?
Yes, Rad Roaches. You know me. I was in pest control. I love them bug boys. No, not at all. No, Death Claws. I think those things are the freaking coolest. It's literally just like, it looks like this devil creature, like the big twisted horns, crazy long claws, like decimated looking, crazy, like skinny, like muscle, pure muscle body, and those things just come out of nowhere. Like 1 second
and body you in like 2 hits.
Yeah. 1 second you're just like chilling, going through like, the middle of the wasteland, mind my own business, and all of a sudden you hear the sound is and then it's just on you. Ching ching, 2 slashes with its claws, you're done. It's like, well, all right.
As soon as you hear that, you have to sprint. You have to take off all your stuff and sprint and only have a mini nuke, because that's the only thing that's gonna kill it in one go.
Oh man. So I think that's my pick. They're fantastic. And I looked up I looked them up on the Fallout wiki, because I was curious. I was like, oh, I wonder how many games they've been in. Like, is that something like they've been like since the beginning, or was that like a newer one just in like 3 in New Vegas and stuff? And apparently they've been in all the games. And then I found this interesting piece of lore that I had no idea about. So apparently, I'm getting in the nitty gritty here. You're probably all gonna like, I don't care. But so a Deathclaw is a term referring to genetically engineered creatures developed by the United States military to replace humans during close combat search and destroy missions.
Are you surprised?
So apparently though, like I don't know how I missed this piece of lore. It must be like hidden in some random shack in the bottom left corner of the map that you never go to. But apparently these things existed before the nuclear war. These things existed before the Great War. Because again, I mean,
are you surprised?
I guess I'm more surprised because they definitely look like heavily. They look like a creature that could have easily come from being around radiation, stuff like that. But apparently, no, they've always been around. They've always looked like that. And what happened is
radiation existed before the bomb went off, though, Garrett. We can just shoot some radiation at a creature and still get the same result. It would just be in a controlled environment.
That's true.
Who knows what kind of black lab experiments that they have going on, right? It might be rad roaches right now, and they're just waiting for the right conflict or opportunity
to release
to let them loose.
But I just thought that was crazy. Like, the only reason they are in the Fallout games is not because they were out in the world and turned into that, but they were in bunkers, and then after the war they broke out of the bunkers. Basically, they broke out of their prisons and then just perfect. This is the perfect living conditions for us, and just took over because all of humanity was dead, basically. It's crazy. So there's their little Deathclaw lore. Apparently, they've always been they've always been here.
Did it say enemy or villain?
I guess it didn't say. It just said a creature. Your favorite creature. It doesn't have to be good, bad, or otherwise. It's any creature from the game.
You know what I really dig? You probably won't know him because you haven't played the game yet. But in A Link to the Past, there are kind of not castle guards. There's castle guards, but there's another kind where they're almost like pigmen, and they have spears that they throw, or they have the same similar attack patterns to the castle guards.
They aren't those. They have them in.
They're in lots of Zelda games.
Cadence of Hyrule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's those guys, but they originated in the other games.
Okay.
I don't know what it is about them. They just seem like they're kind of bumbling. like Bebop and Rocksteady from the Ninja Turtles. They kind of seem like that, but for Zelda world. So I'm into it. I think
awesome.
I think they're good villain design, good fodder villain design. They're just big dummies.
They're just they kind of like accidentally hit you. They're just kind of like, oh, like they're not good bad guys. They're just
right,
like,
really, right. Yeah, that's it. They're not good bad guys. Yeah,
they're like bad guys on accident.
They're like,
kind of
yeah.
thing.
Ganon was like, look, I need something to slow them down at least. Just put these guys out there.
Oh man. Sir Princelot also asked this question: what's a movie series that would have been better off without any sequels?
The Matrix.
That was one of the first ones that popped in my head too. Although I do kind of sit in the camp where I don't think 2 and 3 are terrible. They're not great, but they're not terrible.
But they don't warrant existence.
No, yeah, I think it would have been fine too without it. That's for sure. I haven't watched those movies in a long time. I'd love to watch the Matrix movies again.
Alien after Aliens. I don't think we need any other alien projects after Aliens. I think we're good.
I mean, Alien vs. Predator was fun, but it wasn't good. Like, Alien Resurrection, not good.
Alien is a masterpiece. Aliens is an excellent movie. Anything after that is
this is wild.
We don't need it.
Yeah. For me,
oh my god. The parody off of Scream.
Scary Movie.
Scary Movie. 2 is debatable. I mean, it is pretty good, but did we need a 2?
There's like 7 or 8 of them, right? Or 6, 7. There's like a ton of them. Like,
right. But the first one was really good. I don't know if we needed a 2. I mean, 2 ended up being really good. Thank goodness. But I think the first one was like a fun, let's do a one-off and then call it a day,
I think Home Alone, just the first one was
agreed,
more than enough. I mean, 2 is fine, but I think we would have been fine without 2, and then especially all the ones after that. Like some of like the later ones, I think there's like 3 or 4 more that came out later, and like some of them were like straight to TV movies. It's like, oh, come on. Like Home Alone, classic, first one, they nailed it. Leave it. Let's just leave it. We don't need to double dip on that one.
You ready? But, you ready for me to drop a bombshell and actually a 2-parter bombshell and piss some people off? You ready?
Okay, go for it. Do it. Oh no.
Number 1 is Wreck-It Ralph. And number 2 is Frozen. Okay. I didn't need either of those sequels.
I think I can agree with you on both of those. So if they have beef with you, they have beef with me too.
I didn't need either of those sequels. And that's not to say that they were bad. They weren't warranted at all. They only did it because the first thing was popular, not because they had something else to say.
Oh, 100%. I mean, both of those movies ended very much tidied up. Okay, we're good to go. This is like a nice bow. This is the end of our story. And they both came back and just kind of like added on to something that, exactly. There was nothing in the previous movie to even like make it reasonable.
Especially Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah. It's like, what the, like where, I mean, I'm trying to think, like, other than they just want to hit on like, okay, we did retro gaming. Now we're going to do the more like modern, whatever, like modern day phone app kind of phenomena. But
phone games, aren't they crazy?
Dumb. So dumb.
You got any more?
I'm trying to think. I mean, Matrix was one I had that you already mentioned.
Mortal Kombat?
I mean, none of those movies should have ever been made, right?
Watch your mouth.
I mean,
the first one is good. It's fun. Everything after that, not so much.
Man, yeah, I was like really busting my brain trying to come up with some other movies. I don't know. I just like, no, I was gonna say something, but that doesn't.
Is it a bridge too far?
Well, so I was gonna say like this the Star Wars sequel trilogy, like 7, 8, 9. But I mean that kind of breaks the question, because like that would, by saying Star Wars, that means none of them should have existed except for A New Hope that came out, 77.
Which, so to be fair, that was the original trajectory. There wasn't supposed to be any more.
Yeah.
They just happened to make more after the first one blew up.
Yeah. Which, I mean, imagine the world, like how wild that it would be if like that. Yeah, that's all we got. Like, like, I don't know. It just seems so crazy to me because you're right. You watch that movie and it does like end pretty tied up, for the most part, like, okay, Darth Vader, he probably died. Like the last you see of him, he just spins off into space. Like, okay, he's probably blew up. He's dead. The Death Star blew up. All right. Maybe the Emperor's dead. I don't know.
We're out of here.
Like, there's just so much, like, they even end with, like, the award ceremony. Like, oh, we did it. We won. The Rebels won. And then, like, for them to come back with 5, like, I couldn't imagine, like, living in that time when those movies are coming out and be like, what? How
There's
did they?
Another one?
Oh, man. Like, because that would have been such a, like, just drop the mic moment. Like, look we're back and this one's better. Like, honestly, like 5 is like incredible.
I almost said Cars because Cars 2 is just that bad. Mm-hmm. But then Cars 3 is actually really good. So I guess we had to go through a little pain to get to,
I've never seen 3, so I don't know. So for me, I would say, yeah, let's go with Cars because 2 is atrocious.
See, but here's the problem: is the best narrative for that series is to just say Cars 3 is the real Cars 2, and Cars 2 is like Cars Legends. You know how like Star Wars does that.
This is like some weird
it's Cars extended
film.
Universe. Yeah. So there's Cars and there's Cars 3, which is actually Cars 2.
Oh man. All right.
I'm sure there's a lot more that we're gonna be like.
I'm sure we can go on and on forever, but I think it's a good list. This last question comes from CJM, and they ask, in light of Garrett suffering inner turmoil about buying the PC case, which that was from last week's show, I was wondering how your significant others feel about your spending habits on video games and video game merch. Old JJ is not here this week, so I guess I'm the only one here to answer this.
You're the only married spud.
Because you're a free man. You can do whatever you want with your money.
Yeah, boy. All those $15 and $20 and $8 games I buy.
Yeah, right. So basically, I just buy things I don't tell my wife. That's how it works, I just, spend all the money, and she's like, hey, why can't we buy groceries? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. No, that's not true at all. No, I just budget for it. Then I don't have to explain anything. Like, hey, I have a set amount of like fun money and I can do what I want with it. And that's how it works. Like each month it's like, okay, here's your little, piggy bank, your little envelope, Garrett. Go
have fun. Go buy some gumballs.
Yeah. If I want something big, save up for a couple months, or, better yet, the best thing is when, have you ever heard of the app? I forget what it's called. There's like a couple apps, but there's like pay it off in 6 months and interest free or whatever. So like for the bigger things, a lot of times I'll do that. Like, oh, okay, like I can pay it off over the next 6 months. It's like $10 a month or whatever. And it's like that way I can get more in a month, because I can get multiple things, just pay it off for a while.
Smart man. So, smart man.
It's like, it's not that I don't have the money. I could pay it all for it this month, but then that's the only thing I'm getting this month, where I could get like,
and then I can use the rest of that dough for gumballs.
Yeah, for gumballs. So that's how it works. I mean, I just have a budget, and then I don't have to explain anything most of the time. Or if she does ask, it's like, it's from my fun money budget. It's from Super Gamer Boy's budget. And she's like, oh, all right.
The only thing that I spend money on really is food and
all the Totino's pizza rolls, huh?
Yeah. They're our next sponsor. Don't you worry about that.
I know. That's what I was just about to say. I would love a sponsor from them. Like, pizza rolls are so freaking good.
Don't they make... Am I crazy, or don't they make bagel bites too?
I don't know. Totino's Bagel Bites. Is it the same company? No. Bagel Bites is made by... Ore-Ida, the company that does French fries.
Shoot. Could you imagine if the same company that made Bagel Bites? What?
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say, I know. Like, what?
It's a similar concept.
I could have swore it was the same company, honestly, until I just looked it up. Like, that's kind of shocking me a little bit.
A company that has both of those, that would have both of those, would be unstoppable.
Oh man, yeah. they'd be like overrulers alongside Apple and Google. Apple, Google, and Totinos.
Apple, Google, Comcast, and Tostitos.
Oh man.
No, most of my stuff. So it's very rare that I buy a game like full price, $60. Unfortunately, now sometimes $70.
Yeah.
It has to be like something that I've actively waited for like years, or something that I am a die hard fan of. You know, like a you know, it's the easy tempo, the Mario, Zelda, Metroids, Pokemons. Those go without saying. They're also maybe like one every few years or one every year, so it's not that crazy of a hit. But like 80% of the games I buy are maybe $20 or less, or they go on sale for $20 or less because I wait so long to buy them.
That's the key thing. Like I always wait. I try my best to wait until a sale. Like there's a few games I'll get at launch because it's like, oh, I need to be able to like talk about it on the show, or I just
like Pokemon. I'm getting Pokemon.
Yeah, or like I just really want to play it. But honestly, a lot of times, like I wait for a Steam sale, or I wait for the PlayStation. Like PlayStation has flash sales, honestly, like every couple weeks. Like PlayStation's almost as bad as Steam. I say as bad, but in a good way. Like they're honestly always having sales on digital stuff. So it's like you just wait until it goes on sale. Even like, yeah, maybe it's only discounted like $10, $15. Like, so it's still like $50 or whatever, but that's better than 60 or 70, you know, like, every little bit adds up. The savings add up. So yeah, so that helps a ton. Just wait. Mm-hmm. Don't pre-order things if you can help it.
Never in this day and age, never ever pre-order a game. Do not do it. There is no reason for it. They're not going to run out of downloads. You're fine.
Unless you're a psychopath like me and you got I don't think I've talked about on the show yet. I got a hold of the God of War Ragnarok Collector's Edition. Oh,
yeah,
baby.
But you were buying that for the collectible goodies. You weren't.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it comes with a download code. Same thing. You're not technically like. I mean, you were going to buy the game regardless.
Oh, yeah. No, 100%. But you
didn't buy it to pre-order the game. You bought it to get Mjolnir.
Well,
pre-ordering the game was just a bonus.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm so stoked for that. I can't wait. I'm gonna have a freaking like Mjolnir. I'm gonna have like the cool little dice, little figurines.
I was really pulling for you to get that Jotun or however you say
it. I had it in my car. I had the opportunity, but it was like it was a lot more, like $100 more or something like that, or like $80 more.
Like you're not gonna get another God of War till PS6.
Okay, but the only difference between the two was like the dice were just a little different style. It came with a cloth map and like a couple pins. And I'm like, okay, the cloth map, I felt like, I don't know if I
hung it right on that wall back there.
Yeah, the dice, I actually like the style of the dice in the collector's edition better. They're both dwarven
dice. Are they dice or do they have runes on them?
They're dice. It's basically like a D&D set of like, the standard your standard
up with
array.
Some God of War Collector's Edition dice to D&D, bro.
That's what I'm gonna have. So the Jotun edition, Jotun, had, it was like these metal blue shiny ones, and they were cool looking. But I actually like the ones in the collector's edition better. They're actually like, they're made to look like wooden hand carved, like dwarven dice. I'm like, nah, that's sick. Like I like that better than like the freaking shiny, like metal ones. So, like other than that, like that was, and it came with like a little 6-inch vinyl, but it just had one track on it. I'm like, if I'm going to buy the vinyl, I want the full soundtrack. I don't want just one track. So my thought was like, I'll save the $80 and spend $30 to buy the vinyl when it comes out for the full soundtrack, basically. So I don't know, that was my thought. And I still get freaking Mjolnir. Like there's no difference there. Like it still comes in like a ginormous like collector's box. It's gonna take up like
Can you imagine when that gets to your doorstep?
Oh my gosh, it's gonna be crazy. this giant like,
who ordered this giant crate?
Me. I would love that if it came in a big wooden crate.
Side note, I think it's so cool that they're doing collector's editions with digital codes, now.
Oh heck yeah! I love how it comes with a steelbook, but yeah, it comes with a steelbook, but it's just a code inside.
I that's what I wanted before we knew Cyberpunk sucked. That's what I wanted for Cyberpunk, because all the stuff that they had in the collector's edition ruled. Like the statue, the stickers, the patches, the Night City pins, all that. I wanted all of that, but I didn't want a disc. Because who buys a disc in 2020 when it came out, or now 2022? They don't give you the full game on the disc anymore. What's the point of the disc? Just give me the cool swag.
Yeah, the disc is just a key. You put it in and it downloads the game from the internet anyway. So it's like, just give me the download code at that point.
Exactly. Oh boy, I just angered a whole lot of old people right now. Physical games they're gonna be here until forever. Okay, I'll check with you in 2030 when the servers are down and your license doesn't work anymore.
Oh man. All right. Well, that's it for the mailbag this week. Thank you so much for writing in. I used up the last of the questions this week, so head over there, write in some new questions, or else I'm gonna have to.
And somebody try a bit. I want to hear the bit bag. I want to hear something crazy in the bit bag. I don't care what it is. You can even set it up as a comedy routine, and I think it'd be pretty interesting.
We have a bit bag, and look at this, crickets. There's not even a single chat. Nothing happening in the bit bag. So go over the bit bag, send in your recordings.
Pick up JJ's Slack.
Whatever. JJ's slacking. He keeps not being able to keep up with the promises he makes. It's horrible. All right. It's now time for the Nerdy Nudes.
It's now time for the Nerdy Nudes.
There we go. All right. This first news story comes from VGC, written by Tom Ivan. The Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake has reportedly been delayed indefinitely. Let's see. Development of the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake has reportedly been paused, with the future of the game said to be up in the air. That's according to Bloomberg, which claims developer Aspyr Media fired the game's design director Brad Prince and art director Jason Miner earlier this month. The pair were reportedly dismissed shortly after the studio finalized a demo of the game to show to its production partners, Lucasfilm and Sony. Imagine that, finishing up a demo. They literally are like, okay, the demo's done. Let's take it over to Lucasfilm and Sony. And as they're walking out the door, like these security guards come up and say, excuse me, you and you. Yeah, we
like,
gotta walk you out of the building. We gotta walk you out of the building.
Where are you guys going? Oh, we're going to ship the demo, right?
No. We're going to chat with George.
You're going home.
Yeah, I cannot imagine. But Aspyr's studio heads are said to have informed staff this month that the demo hadn't met internal expectations and work on the game was being paused, with the company planning to seek new development opportunities. Announced last September for PS5 and PC, the game had been in development for 3 years at Austin, Texas-based Aspyr, which originally planned to have it ready for release by the end of 2022, this year. One Bloomberg source suggested too much time and money had been invested in the demo and that a more realistic release window would now be 2025.
Oh, I'm sorry. Our demo is too good. It's too good. It's going to sell the game too well.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. Aspyr is a subsidiary of Studio Saber Interactive, which is also working on the KOTOR remake. Some at Aspyr reportedly believe that Saber could now take over development of the project completely. This is a quote from Saber CEO Matthew Karch. This is from back in May. Aspyr has gone full into making this the best game that they can make. When we acquired Aspyr, we knew from the start that they would require our assistance. Saber, talking about themselves now, not Aspyr, Saber has tremendous expertise in creating these types of products. We've done it on Halo, on multiple Halo products, so we've been spending a lot of time working with them to bring this title over. We're fully confident that this game is going to be fantastic, but it's a massive product, and massive products require a lot of effort and a lot of time to make good. And especially when you're talking about a game that's very old, we basically had to remake that game from scratch. So what a crazy chain of events. So they finish a demo. The two leads who were working on the demo got sent home. Sorry, you're out. They take it to LucasArts and what was the other company? Sony, Lucasfilm and Sony, and they say, no good. And then Saber comes up and is just like bragging, being like, yeah, we knew they were going to need help. They were doing a good job. Well, we knew they were going to need help, and we're here because we're so good at these Halo games. So we're going to kill it at Star Wars. What?
You know that Halo 5 game and that Halo Infinite game? You know those two? Yeah, we helped with those. That's what you want to put your best foot forward with?
Oh, man. So yeah, basically the project is on pause with somehow Bloomberg like estimates it could come out in 2025, but at this point Saber's like, the Spire's not working on it and we're not working on it. It's just on hold until we figure it out. So I mean, it could be like, it could just never be touched. It could just be completely canceled at this point, which, imagine that. Like, that's so wild.
After all that build up and the trailer and everything. You know what though? You know why this doesn't really bother me that much? Because we still got the original, and the original is still good.
Yeah, so the original's still around. Still, it's on Steam. It's on everything pretty much to play. Yeah, it just seems so wild though to be like I don't know. I guess my question is, where is the point of no return as far as like putting money into something? Because it's like they've already said that the demo was like they spent too much time and too much money in it. In my head, that means, well, you better to keep going and make sure it sells like crazy because you've put too much money into the demo already. So the fact that they're like, we put too much money into it, so now we're just cutting it off. Like, that seems wild to me. Like, how, like, you can't make money as a company that way. Like, they're just like, oh, we put too much money, so now we're putting a stop to it right now. It's like, what?
Right.
Like,
in my mind, over the line, just go.
In my mind, it's like, you know, this game is going to get crazy sales because it's Star Wars and it's Knights of the Old Republic. Like, it's two things going in its favor. And then, the fact that they're just like hesitating. I mean, I guess what that tells us is that demo was really bad. Like, it must have been crazy, horrible
for them to have spent that much money on it and it still be awful like that.
Yeah, I wonder what's bad about it. Is it like not holding up graphically? Is it not holding up like with the controls and gameplay wise? Did they try to change too much with the story and maybe it just was getting wonky? Like, I wonder what was bad about the demo. Like, I wish we could have known that.
I mean, what has Aspyr worked on lately before this?
Aspyr,
because that'll tell me like what their graphical prowess is, and it's probably not something that Sony is satisfied with.
I have it right here. Aspyr Studios. So the most recent games they did. This can't be true. Hang on. Let me look.
If you're gonna say something from 2000 and
hold on.
6 or 7.
Everyone, hold on here. Hang on. Games.
And I'm not talking about that they helped on, like that they made.
So they brought. Basically, all they've done is they've brought old games to modern consoles.
So they're a porthouse.
They did. So the Knights of the Old Republic, they brought it to the App Store and to Switch. Force Unleashed, they brought to Switch. Knights of the Old Republic. Knights of the Old Republic 2, they brought to the App Store, Windows, Switch, all that, Linux. Mm-hmm. Star Wars Republic Commando, Switch and PS4, which that's the one that was busted. Remember, we used to talk about in our book club. I couldn't even play it because there was a bug in it. It wouldn't
turn
let me.
Corner or something
I couldn't go around corners. Yeah, so they worked on that broken port for Switch, and the port of Star Wars Racer for Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox. So they've just done ports of old Star Wars games to modern consoles. That's all they've done. So really, this is their first.
And they trusted them with a game as
a full-on remake,
hallowed and legendary as Knights of the Old Republic.
I mean, they ported the original, so of course they know the source material better than anyone, right?
Apparently, that sounds like it's some good old-fashioned, that's sound logic right there. I don't know. Who was nobody available? I know Respawn is working on their own, single player thing right now. And plus they have the new Jedi game coming, so they couldn't be bothered. BioWare is working on Mass Effect 4, so you couldn't give it back to them.
I mean, but these guys aren't even attached to EA. Like Saber Interactive is part of Embracer Group. So this whole THQ Nordic, Deep Silver, that stuff.
You know who would have been okay? Crystal Dynamics. But they're stuck making that terrible Avengers game. Crystal Dynamics is part of Embracer Group now.
Are they really?
Yeah, remember Square Enix sold them.
Oh yeah, crazy. Yeah, what they just get rid of that stupid Avengers game and get them working on Knights of the Old Republic. Although, do we really want them touching Star Wars? Oh man, they already ruined Marvel's. Like, do we want them to ruin Star Wars too?
But they didn't. They did an excellent Tomb Raider trilogy.
That's true. They did a very good Tomb Raider trilogy. Boy, yeah. I don't know what's going on here. It's sad because like I was stoked. I admittedly I had never played the original. I saw this trailer and I'm like, holy smokes, this looks crazy. Everyone's like, go play the original. I bought the original. I haven't played it yet, but in my head I was like, oh, it'd be perfect. Like especially if it was coming out this year or next year, like they originally planned. Oh, okay, I could play through the original and then even play through the second one and be able to see like the big changes and what's going on, and that would be so cool. But now it's like this game might not even ever come out. So I don't know. Stay tuned, I guess.
You're gonna have to play the original, which
ain't a
bad thing at all. I can tell you right now, it's a total 180 from Republic Commando. It's BioWare, okay? That's all you. It's old school BioWare. So if that has any kind of seal of quality, that should be it.
Yeah, I mean that's better than Aspire. What's up? Boba Flett's in the chat. What's up, Boba Fletch? He says, hi, Kings. And then Yoga Archangel says, the Super Gamer Kings. Thank you. This next news story, also from VGC, written also by Tom Ivan. EA is reportedly making a single-player open-world Black Panther game. Yikes. Whew, all right. According to Giant Bomb, the title is in the early stages of development and is very likely being produced at a recently established EA studio headed by former Monolith Productions boss Kevin Stevens. It is a single-player game. It is in very early development, and the game starts with Black Panther being dead. Reporter Jeff Grubb said during a podcast on Monday. The player is going to take on the challenges of becoming the new Black Panther, and that seems to be the setup for the game. Grubb said many of the details he has in the game are taken from the pitch for the title. The game is reportedly known as Project Rainier, which Grubb believes refers to Mount Rainier in Seattle, where EA's new studio is based. They're looking at making this a big open-world Black Panther game. EA announced last May that former Monolith production studio head Kevin Stevens had joined the company to lead a new studio. So we don't know the name of the studio yet, but apparently, there's a new EA studio in Seattle. We don't know the name of the studio, and supposedly this unnamed studio is starting to work on this Black Panther game, which is kind of wild. Imagine giving this brand spanking new studio. Granted, it's being helmed by veterans, gaming veterans. Kevin Stevens from Monolith, so he worked on like the Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor and Middle-earth Shadow of War, both very good games. But giving this new studio, like, hey, go work on a Marvel game now. Go work on Black Panther. Make a big open world game. It's crazy. Yes, a couple people in the studio have experience with open world games, but I don't know. That's kind of a big task, I feel like.
I have a myriad of concerns regarding this idea. We were talking about it a little bit before we started recording. My first one being, I don't know who came up with this premise, but it had to have come up within the last couple of years. And just, this is like the biggest lack of reading the room I've ever seen as far as the premise for the game.
Yeah.
Just, think about it. The Black Panther died, and now we need to find another Black Panther. Where have I heard that scenario before? Maybe like real life,
right?
Or something close to that. Number 2 is, I guess, the protagonist you said becomes the Black Panther.
Correct.
Do we know if there is a character creator? Like, do you get to make your own person? Because if you do, I don't know if I agree with that, because then you could make somebody who looks like Steve Rogers be Black Panther, and that is not okay.
Make somebody looks like me, like make so right. Yeah, exactly. Like
yeah, Gary, you look just like you belong in Wakanda.
I look just like any other Wakanda. What are you talking about? Right. Like I'd fit right in. I'd fit right in.
Pull your lip down. Let me see your marking. It's gotta be right there. Oh, so that's another like huge concern for me. I don't know how they're gonna weave that story in there. And then the last one is Wakanda itself. We've maybe scratched the surface of what it looks like. I don't know if they're going to get like schematics from Kevin Feige and Marvel and stuff like that, or if they're going to make up their own Wakanda. But we don't really have a cemented structure or layout for Wakanda as far as it's like monoliths or landmarks outside of the big Panther statue. Like,
right.
I mean, they can basically design their whole thing from ground up, but will it feel like Wakanda? Will it feel like maybe it's just a reskinned, New York or something like that? It's hard to tell.
It seems like there's like misses on almost every front. Like, design wise with the game, it's like, okay, you're like you were saying, we don't know what Wakanda even looks like. Like, we've barely seen it in the movies. Granted, Black Panther 2 is coming out. Is that this year or next year? Like, there is a Black Panther movie coming out soon.
And also, to be fair, there are decades of Black Panther comics, but none of them focus on like the layout of Wakanda per se.
Exactly.
It just happens to be a place that they are.
Yeah. And so
like there's no like, oh, this is the Wakandan, tree of T'Chaka or something like that. That spans through every run of the comics because it's an established landmark. I don't think there's anything like that outside of the Panther statue. So they're basically going to be making it up.
Yeah, so it's like design-wise, story-wise, like what you were saying. It's like, wait, so like you're just some random Joe Schmo becoming Black Panther? Like, I don't understand. Like, this is, I don't know. There's just so much wild about this, giving it to like a brand new studio. Granted, hey, what if, even if it is made up of a bunch of veterans in the industry, it's like, I don't know. It seems crazy. And I don't know. I'm sure Marvel had to be okay with it, but which is surprising. Like, Marvel was okay with just like, oh yeah,
Marvel
you're making
games and Marvel Entertainment are two very different heads of the property.
Yeah, but Marvel
games also was okay with Avengers too. So
yeah, but I mean, they've also been, they also came out with Spider-Man Miles Morales. They've greenlit this Wolverine game is coming out on PlayStation. Like, so there are like
there's hits and misses. I'll give you that.
So far, like in recent years, but man, I don't know. We'll just wait and see. But so far, it's not sounding so hot. Yeah, it just sounds crazy. Like, if it was a linear game, very like more like like an Uncharted or something, that would make sense in my head. But the fact that it's open world just seems crazy. Like, unless again you can go like you're gonna open world in the sense that like
you can switch between different areas, like small areas and. Yeah,
because I can't imagine a whole game taking place just in Wakanda. Like, you have to go somewhere else, right? Like, otherwise that just seems wild.
No, Wakanda is huge. Like, you can make an open world of it. Not to mention there's like the surrounding areas and different tribes that you can go and visit and stuff like that too.
But I guess I'm just thinking like generally
we just don't know what any of that looks like.
Right. And I guess what I'm thinking too is like most of the bad guys though, like the enemies come from outside Wakanda, and a lot of the fighting generally doesn't happen inside Wakanda. Like, that's the whole point. Like, they have like the walls, they have the camouflage, they have everything. Like, so bad things don't happen in Wakanda. So it seems weird to make a open world action RPG, or not RPG, an action game in Wakanda where bad things don't happen because it's so.
Rest assured, it's going to be about Wakanda getting invaded. and you're gonna have to go to all these different areas within Wakanda where like, oh, you know, these blank whatever big overarching enemy troops are taking over this area of Wakanda, and we need you to go over there and thin it out and get them out of there.
Yeah, that doesn't sound fun either.
Absolutely gonna be.
That doesn't sound fun at all. So yeah, stay tuned for that. We'll see if we hear anything about it this year. Again, at this point, apparently it's just some leaks and rumors from that new team over there, but I don't know. We'll see if it comes to fruition. Who knows? Maybe it's just a pitch. Maybe it's just a bunch of pitches and Hopefully. It'll never see the light of day. This last news story comes from Joe Screbbles over at IGN, and he writes, GTA 6 will reportedly feature a first female playable character and add new cities over time.
A woman!
Oh,
no!
The audacity!
They just take everything!
Oh man, Grand Theft Auto 6 will reportedly feature a female playable character in its campaign for the first time. Rockstar apparently plans to launch the game with a single city, but add more locations over time through updates. As part of a report on Rockstar by Bloomberg, sources close to the studio discussed the new female character who will be Latina. The character will reportedly be part of a pair of bank robbers in a story influenced by real-life criminals Bonnie and Clyde. Female protagonists have previously only been available as custom characters in GTA Online, never in the game's single-player campaigns. Rockstar co-founder Dan Houser, who has since left the company, previously indicated the company was thinking about a female lead as far back as 2013. The report also indicates that the launch version of GTA 6 will begin with fictionalized Miami and surrounding areas, presumably a return for Vice City, but will be updated with new missions and cities on a regular basis. That launch version apparently already includes more interior locations than any GTA game previously. Per the report, the game is codenamed Project Americas due to its original plan to include huge territories based on North and South America, a plan that was scrapped in part to reduce crunch for employees. Sources say that developers on the game are skeptical about predictions for launch between April 2023 and March 2024 due to multiple changes on the team and bottlenecks in production. Some developers are even said to have quit due to lack of progress on the game recently. Isn't that would be insane? Imagine that, like the game just stalls out so much, like people are like bored of sitting around and twiddling their thumbs. They're basically like, "Hey, I'm sick of coming to the office and doing nothing, so I just quit." Like that seems crazy.
I'm sick of Rockstar paying me $80,000, $90,000 a year to just sit here
do nothing.
Are you crazy?
Developers on the team reportedly expect the game to be at least 2 years away and say that no firm release date has been set internally. Isn't that crazy that Rockstar can just ride on the coattail of GTA 5 for like over a decade?
That's how good it is.
Like that's how crazy.
Like it's crazy because a game from 2013. I mean, you got to think back though. When GTA 5 came out, it was miles ahead of everything else that was coming out at that time.
Yeah,
just the scope of the city, the mechanics and systems. The mocap and the GTA performances have always been good, but 5 I feel like have been the best that we've seen so far. It was miles ahead of everything else. So everything else now, finally everything is caught up to where it's on par or it's finally starting to get better than 5, which is like, all right, Rockstar is finally like, okay, I guess we can, start to work to push the envelope forward again, and then we don't have to do it again for another 10 years.
Right.
Realistically, on that caliber, it's only Rockstar and Naughty Dog that are doing work like that are pushing the art form forward at that scale.
Yeah.
So, however long it takes them.
Yeah, even looking at like Red Dead Redemption 2, like what they did with Red Dead Redemption 2, like games.
That's another shining example.
Yeah. Supposedly some of the stalls going on are because in recent years over at Rockstar, there's been a lot of changes, including a more inclusive office culture, a focus on reducing crunch, a removal of abusive managers, conversion of contractors into full-time employees, and a whole restructure to improve working conditions. Morale is said to be higher at the company as a result, and one source said Rockstar was a boys' club transformed into a real company. So
that's all the battle unionization, I feel like.
Yeah, 100%. But it's, I mean, Hey, at least
we're a great place to work. You don't have to worry about getting your butt slapped at work, and you get free lunches. Isn't it cool to work here? You know,
yeah. That's true. But I mean, at least it is a change in the good direction. Maybe it has ill intention, but we talk about it every time there is a game at Crunch, like we talk about here on the news, like, oh, they're doing it again and they're killing their employees and blah, blah, blah. It's like, that's great. Like, at least this is kind of like one of the first companies that we've seen that are like actively making changes and like employees are noticing. They're like, oh yeah, no, it's better. It is better here. Like, that's great. Cause I feel like we always talk about the negative, like, oh, they did it again. They did it again. They did it again.
Keep it
like,
that way forever.
Yeah. How long are they going to last?
Not until GTA 6 comes out and then you go back. No, keep it that way and keep getting better. How about that? It's what a simple concept. You make billions of dollars a year. You can do it.
Right. Yeah, you can do it. So I don't know. I don't have a horse in the race with GTA 6 because I don't really play much of the Grand Theft Auto games. But I mean, it's sounding great so far. Like, okay, changing things up with the main character. Even the fact that like, hey, we're starting out in this one city, because most games just focus on one city. This one's like, hey, we're gonna start in one city, and then we're bringing more in later. Like, that seems insane. Like, that seems like the evergreen game. Like, that game will go on for 10 years and more because of that.
It's setting up for online.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. Like, it'll never end.
Right, because you can have stuff to do in every city, and you just take a flight, which is a loading screen. I wouldn't be surprised if you could get on a plane in GTA Online and just sit on the plane while it flies you.
Imagine that just in real time.
City. Yeah. You joke, you laugh, but that would be something that if Rockstar did, everybody would be like, yo, this is crazy. Like, the map is just that big where they're able to fly you. Of course, you don't, they make the plane go super slow, so it seems like you're actually taking a flight. But like, all the cities are right next to each other, but they're just out of view of each other. Right. So they make it real slow, like it would take the time to get over there. And then you land and you're in the other city. That would be insane. And you can like sit on the plane. You can watch a movie on the plane, get drinks from the what do they call them?
Like the flight attendant?
Yeah, the flight attendants, all that. You can fly first class. You could pay to fly first class. See?
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah, have it be optional. Like, obviously, if you want to fast travel, you can fast travel. But then, like, the experience to be able to, like, maybe do, like, a little side mission or, like, meet up with someone or whatever.
Plane, like, the plane gets robbed or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, well. I don't know. That's always a weird thing to mess with, but, you know.
Well, I mean, yeah, true. But you know what I mean? It's GTA. I wouldn't put it
That's
past
true.
GTA
is not afraid of anything.
You would also be the hero in that situation where if you clear the mission, you save everybody. So
okay, so you're saying you'd be I thought you were saying you would be the one to hijack a plane.
No. I'm saying
like, I don't know how that would
tries to hijack the plane and you as the player take them out. I wouldn't. Okay. I would never suggest and in this day and age that you would be able to rob a plane. No.
Come on, Rockstar. We want to hijack a plane. We want to commit terrorism.
No, but I'm saying that to say I think that they could do something on that level.
Right.
And then we were talking a little 100%. Bit before the show again that they were saying, oh, it's a city based on Miami. It's clearly Vice City. I don't know why everybody is saying a city based on Miami. What other city in the GTA universe is based on Miami? Come on now. That also means that Liberty City is going to be a part of it for sure. That goes without saying. I was saying in my opinion that I think if they do Vice City and Liberty City, I don't want them to expand on it as far as size wise goes. I would love to see them stay the exact same size that they are, but make it a lot more dense, make a lot more things that I can do, places that I could go, things I can interact with missions, with stores, nightclubs, drag races, restaurants, all that. Put it all in there. That way you don't have to worry about, like Bethesda has their current problem with a bajillion planets. No, we got this small little city, but there's dozens of hours of stuff that you could do in it.
Yeah, make it actually like fun. You know, like, oh, it's not just a bunch of empty dead space. It's like, oh, there's something here. that's makes sense within the world and is fun to interact with, and do missions in, do heist, whatever you're doing. So heck yeah, it'd be killer.
Also, I have no comment on the protagonist this time, outside of I think it's a great idea, and most people who are complaining about a female protagonist probably don't talk to women in real life. So I've just put it out there, just being real. So I think it's an interesting concept. I can't wait to see what they do with it.
Yeah, I some of those things is like, why does it matter? Who cares? Like it's
a cool change of perspective.
It's a cool, exactly. Awesome. It changes. That's what I was about to say. It's like, who cares? Like, it just means more variety in your game, right? Like, do you want to just play the same thing over and over again? Like, no, like different perspectives are awesome to see. Like different gameplay styles, different, that it can take a story and way different directions than if it was just the same, male protagonist again. So it just gives you more avenues to tell different stories. If you want to play story with whatever, a white dude or a black dude or whatever, like it's,
you got Red Dead,
there's all these other games,
5 all the way back to the first one. You got pretty much every other game ever outside of Tomb Raider and Metroid and Perfect Dark. So take your pick.
Yeah, there's plenty of opportunities to find whatever story you're looking for. So if you don't like it, then fine, don't play it. But why not? Like you've played the whole other wide gamut of games out there with all these other protagonists. Who cares about this one? Like this is great.
Right.
I don't know. It's crazy. People are dumb. I think you nailed it on nailed the nail on the head in that one with they've obviously never actually talked to a female in real life. They, for all they know, they don't even actually exist. They just live behind the computer. It's just things that exist on the internet.
They keep putting these girl things in there, and I don't. I mean, I guess my mom, but that's about it.
There's other girls besides my mom. Oh man. All right. Well, that is it for the news this week. Thank you so much for listening. And now it is time for our Patreon ad. This is a part of the show where I tell you to go over to patreon.com/supergamerboys. From the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you to all of you who support us currently. And for all you who have been thinking about it recently, please go check it out. Patreon.com/supergamerboys. You can support us starting at just $1 a month, all the way up to $15 a month. And there's 4 tiers. You get episodes early and ad-free. You can get show notes of what we're going to be talking about. So you can kind of see, the show ahead of time, leave your own questions, comments, concerns. Heck, even leave your own 2 cents on there for us to input on the show. You can get shout outs on the show as a sponsor. You can pitch us segments if you have a great idea that you want to throw at us, support us at that producer tier, and you could make the next big bit or the big segment there for our show. So think about supporting us over at Patreon. It'd be very much appreciated. We're so close again to getting that new show funded. We've lost a couple supporters, but you know what? It's time to dig in. Let's get back up to the top there. Let's get that $100 a month, and then we can bring you that new show there. You can also support us if you are more of a Twitch person. You're here watching us live each and every Monday night when we record the episode, or sometimes randomly throughout the week. We'll jump on there once in a while. Twitch.tv/thesupergamerboys. You can send us a free subscription. If you have Amazon Prime, that means you have Prime Gaming. You can link your Amazon account to your Twitch account, and you get a free sub each and every month with Prime Gaming, and we would appreciate it if you sent that our way. We get $5, doesn't cost you anything, and helps, again, support the show, and you get sweet emotes that you can use all across Twitch to your heart's content on all your other channels that you enjoy to watch. Go over there and spread the love of Super Gamer Boys. So, that's what we got there for supporting us. Patreon, Twitch Gaming, Prime Gaming. Oh, Adrian almost came through the screen on me at that one.
Woo!
That was a close one. So go check those out now. And let's get back to the show. All right, Adrian. It's that time of the show where we talk about what you're playing. I just want to put it out there. I've not been playing anything. So, unfortunately, I will not have anything to add to this conversation tonight. So, what have you been playing this week?
Well, I can tell you for certain, as of right now, just like last week, Power Wash Simulator has its hooks in me so good. Yes. I've been playing that pretty much after work every day, at least 30 minutes to an hour, just chipping away at different levels. And man, it is one of the best de-stressors I think I've ever experienced as far as the game goes, outside of like maybe Animal Crossing. Like just coming in and just basically clocking in and just you take your brain engine key and just go doot doot doot. You click it all the way down to just where all I need to do is control my trigger fingers so I could just spray and move. That's it.
Now, did you see on our Discord, Sir Prince-A-Lot? He works at a t-shirt printing shop.
He lives it.
And he lives it, but he was like complaining about it. And I was just like, what, dude? Like, you're living the dream, dude. That's your life. Cleaning those silk screens out for, the shirts.
Could you imagine taking that bad boy he had outside to some dirty concrete? Oh, man.
Man. He was just rubbing in our faces. He wanted to play it off like he's sick and tired of it, but he loves it. Deep down inside, he loves it.
He has to. Man. That's where I've been at, and I don't see myself stopping anytime soon because more levels just keep coming in, and they get bigger and they get more intricate, and I'm fine with that.
That's awesome. I did the one. I think it was like I don't know if it's in the full launch release. It was there in the open beta or whatever, the pre-release. But there was like a one on Mars where you could clean the Mars rover. Have you done one like that?
I haven't seen that one yet. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, it's on Steam anyways. Like during pre-release, it was unlocked from the start. Like you on the main menu, I think you go to like extra content or like downloadable or something like that, and it was it was like a free extra. So it's not part of the main story mission. But like that was so much fun. Like you're literally on Mars, just power washing the Mars rover. And
does
like,
it change the gravity?
Yeah, the gravity is like changed everything. Yeah, I know.
So cool.
It's awesome. It's super cool. So I haven't been playing anything, but I will talk about last week went down a deep hole of learning After Effects. And dude, I've been having a freaking blast. So
yeah, I saw that, Johnny Blaze.
Yeah, this is something I've been wanting to learn like for a long time. I've always been interested in it and just never like took the time to figure it out. And so finally I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go for it. I've been super into all the like the Corridor Digital stuff on their site. Like I even signed up for like their subscription thing like through their site, and I've been watching like all the behind the scenes and like learning so much like about filmmaking and like digital VFX and all this stuff. And I'm like, dang, like I want to do this so badly. So I just started learning, and the first thing I did was it was janky, but like I basically turned like an empty hallway. It was like a tutorial thing, so it was like some stock footage that they had, this empty blank white hallway, and like turned it into like the Upside Down. It was crazy. Like when I was done, I'm like, I can't believe I did that. Like it actually works. Like I did these steps and this thing came out, and I actually started like messing around with my own footage and like using those same steps and some of those same just tools, and like, oh, okay, like I made my hallway look like the Upside Down from Stranger Things. I made my bedroom look like, I'm like, okay, like this is cool. Like I'm able to like start reproducing things now that I'm learning, and also it's helping me make connections with like other tutorials, because so I also started learning doing like some motion graphic stuff with like logos. But yeah, the most recent thing I did that Adrian was referring to was I made like fire pop into my hand. You can see the video. It's over on my Instagram at @gmorlang, where I just like pop my hand open. And it's like flames come out, and I kind of shake my hand around a little bit. And that took like so long. But when I was done, I'm like, that doesn't look half bad. Like it actually looked way better than I thought it was going to. And it just blew my mind. It was so exciting.
You're
so
proud of yourself. I'm not mad at you. I've been
on a high with like After Effects and all this stuff, and it's gotten my mind cranking now. And maybe you and I need to have a meeting soon about some spooky Gamer Boy like little sketches and skits.
I was just getting ready to say. So what you're saying is our skit game is getting ready to go to the next level.
And we got a couple months. I mean, it's August already, so we need to get going. I'm not that fast with the After Effects, so we need to start getting some stuff going now. So that way, come October, maybe we can put out some sick spooky Gamer Boys skits and stuff.
Man. The old noggin works best when it's crunch time. I'm telling you, not under crunch.
Your mind might, but me running After Effects does not. That's what I'm saying. But no, yeah, it just has me really excited. I've been really going down this rabbit hole of, and that's honestly why I haven't been playing as many games lately. Is I've been really just doing a ton of research on like filmmaking, essentially. Like I've been doing a ton of research on my okay, what are the best settings and color profiles from my camera? I went out and bought like a new lens for the thing. Like I've been diving in headlong. Like, okay, how am I gonna I want to make cool stuff. I want to make cool movies, cool videos. What do I need to do technically to do that? Like, and if I can get that dialed in, I'm good at that stuff. And then from there, either collaborate with people who are good with like the writing aspect, or in whatnot, and the obviously acting. You guys all know I'm not a good actor, so it's like if I can find some good people who have a story to tell and can act good, then man, I think we're gonna be able to make some killer stuff. So yeah, I've just been really excited. I've been in this cool headspace of just learning more. So, which unfortunately means less time of watching shows and playing video games, but hopefully it means more cool stuff for Super Gamer Boys. So we'll see.
I'm into it. I'm with it.
Heck yeah. We need to come out, start our Super Gamer Boys studios.
That'll be the overarching thing.
Yes.
You know how Universal and all those things are like a Comcast company. Mm-hmm. So Super Gamer Boys will be Super Gamer Boys, studios company.
SGB Studios.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. Well, yeah. Well, that's all I got for the show this week. Thank you all so much for listening. We appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time out of your day to listen to or watch our podcast. We appreciate it. And while you're here, if you could head over to your podcast app that you're listening through, leave us a 5-star review if you can. That helps us tremendously. If you're on YouTube, hit the thumbs up. Make sure you hit subscribe. That way, when the next episode goes live. That would be very much appreciated. If you want to help support us, help us make cool things, heck, you know what? Yeah, get us to that new show, Super Later Boys.
I think we're just gonna have to do one. We're just gonna have to do one.
Yeah, we say that.
Saying it over and
we keep
over
saying it. If friggin' JJ would come back from whatever the heck he's doing,
whatever pilgrimage he's on,
then we could do it. But he's just taking a sweet old time, just doing nothing over there. But support us over at patreon.com/supergamerboys. We'd appreciate it. It helps us, like I said before, tremendously with whether it's equipment, games, whole 9 yards. It kind of just helps keep the website up and running, hosting. It's a lot. There's a lot that goes into us, and we appreciate your guys' help with it. If you want to support us and you want something more tangible in return, like maybe a sweet t-shirt or a coffee mug to drink your morning tea out of, or coffee, I guess, go over to sgbstore.com. Support us there by buying that sick merch with our faces, with our logo, with whatever. There's a bunch of stuff over there, and it's pretty sweet, if I do say so myself. Shout out to Jack Sriracha and Yate once again for allowing us to use their music. Remember, go show them some love. Please, please, please. Links to their Spotify pages are in the description, but they're also on Apple Music to stream, and I believe they're on various sites such as Bandcamp to purchase their music as well. So go do that. Show them love. Give them all the support because they make fantastic music. You can find us during the week at supergamerboys.com, Twitter and Instagram at supergamerboys. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at gmorling. Adrian, where can they find you at?
They can find me any and everywhere at Homeboy.
All right. That's it. That's all I got for this show. Adrian, take us away.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming and hanging out with us for another week. Thank you for listening to another episode. We hope you had a great time because we did making it. For what does JJ call you?
He has a lot of
I don't know.
Names for him. It changes every
Garrett
week.
Morlang.
Yeah, that sounds like something.
Probably something like that. And for me, Adrian Homeboy Holmes, we are the Super Gamer Boys.
And we will catch you on the flippity flop.
All right, Gary, it's time to see if you're a man of your word. I just sent you those Crunchyroll login details.
Yes! Let's do it.